80% of boxing at the highest level is a mental thing. It's how you navigate and how you get through it. He needs to make sure his mental fortitude is right, is okay, because he doesn't want to go straight into a big fight without it being untested.
Right, we are here. It's Abs of October Red, and I'm joined by what I will say. I can't say favourite, so I have to say one of my favourite trainers, because you know, you lot get all sensitive, don't you?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's a pleasure to have you back, Connor Walker. Head of well, talk to me. I had a chat about him, and I think he's actually improved with you, because I was a bit funny with him at the beginning. Yeah. Because he'd left his trainer, you know, we've spoke about that.
I understand that, I know, and obviously Rich is a great guy. He's done a lot for Connor, he acknowledges that. Connor just literally turned around and said, like, I feel like I need to grow, and I've only got a couple of years where sort of it's really important. And listen, I get it, it hurts, you know, when you've been through a career and stages with people. They're still on good terms, and yeah, I feel like Connor's probably the closest type of style to how I felt, how I fought when I was fighting. So it was really relatable, and I'd been watching him a couple of fights before that, and I was like, God, he really right on my street. And I was only talking about this yesterday, actually. He's probably the only fighter who I've trained in 14 years who enjoys fighting as much as I did. In terms of nearly everyone is sort of apprehensive, nervous, tense before in the changing rooms. And I've never come across anyone up until Connor who like literally enjoys the process. Like, I used to love it, I used to thrive off it. I never used to get really nervous, I was just excited. And he's the first person who I look at it and I think, you're fucking right on my street, you. So
that's mad, because he actually said that to me. He said he used to watch you and he liked your style of fighting and that he modelled himself on you. Did you know that?
Mad. No, I didn't know that, no.
That's what he told me yesterday.
Yeah.
So that is really weird.
Yeah, yeah.
He said that you connected really well and that you just seemed to bounce off each other.
On the same page, yeah. Very, very similar personalities. He's not brash, he's not arrogant, he's just solid fundamentals, goes in there, good work ethic. I mean, his mindset's bulletproof. Like, you could throw him in there with King Kong and he'd be like, listen, I'll find a way to win, don't worry about it. Like, that's the type of mentality he's got, and you know, you don't have to convince him he's going to win the fight. You have to sort of slow him down in training, you know, give him a bit of advice about navigating through it properly, make sure you rest enough, because he just wants to do, and I love that attitude.
You know what? It's really weird, because you are literally mirroring exactly what he's saying. He said he used to want to go in there and kill him, but he's had to learn, hold on, I don't want to end up in a hole.
No,
so I've got to learn about
yeah.
pacing myself.
Exactly, that you can still implement that style, but just be cute about it, and you know, be a bit smarter. And that's what Oliver Harrison taught me, and hopefully that's what I'm able to sort of pass them lessons on to him as well.
What do you think about this fight then? Because I love it, between Sam Eggington and Connor Walker. They're both centre of the ring kind of guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's aggression meets aggression.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But your words as a fighter, that type of opponent, how does Connor need to fight? It's like fire with fire. How do you deal with an opponent like that?
To a certain extent, you've got to use your best attributes, and one of Connor's best attributes is being in the line of fire, being right in front of you. Sort of gets too close really, where people can't get leverage on the shots, or where he's comfortable. So it's a fun fight in terms of, you know, it didn't really need to happen. It's out of his weight category, but he knew it was one what the fans had gelled to. And Sam Eggington's a fantastic fighter. I remember I think it was 2012, being ringside when he beat Denton Vassell. So he was only, about 18 or 19 then. He's been around the block so many times, but he's still got plenty left. And you're not going to go and beat someone like Sam Eggington without having to go into the line of fire. That's how you've got to do it. So I'm sure they'll have ideas about not getting engaged too early, you know, trying to get through the first 3 or 4 rounds with damage limitations. But ultimately, you can't get away from nature. And as soon as someone hits him on the chin, he's going to stand and have it, which is what he's done all his career.
But that's what we love about it, and that's what fills me with so much adrenaline as a boxing fan, because I know, I've said it, and this is the 3rd time I've said it, it's like you're going out on a date and you know what's waiting for you at the end of the night. It's just entertainment.
So, like, I've no doubt there'll be some type of plan where they'll go, we don't engage with him early on, you know, we use our boxing brain, and it's all well and good saying it. I've been there myself, and I've also been in situations where I've said that to my fighters, and it's easier said than done. But the best part of Conor Walker is that even no matter how many plans you've got, he forces you into his plans. And Sam Eggington he's got a very good boxing brain. You know, he can actually box quite well, but ultimately his instinct is to have a fight. And he doesn't need much invitation to drag in, so it won't be long before it catches fire.
Listen, I can't wait. But you've got so many fighters. I've got to go back to Pat Brown.
Yeah,
I love that performance from him.
Yeah.
And I think he's improved. I did listen to the commentary. I thought the commentary was a bit sharp with him, saying that he took too many hits.
Yeah.
When Pat started out, yes.
Yeah.
But as the fights have gone on, I've seen that he's improved.
Yeah.
And I like that performance. I thought it was controlled. And he got the stoppage, and I think the stoppage was fine. But your words, your fighter.
Against a really well experienced fighter, tough as old Owls is.
Yeah.
He'd only ever been stopped early once in the corner on a cut. So he's never been stopped in the way that Pat stops him. I thought the ref maybe jumped in a little bit too early. Could have done him justice a little bit.
Okay.
I thought if he'd have let it go on another 3 or 4 seconds, he would have genuinely, legitimately stopped him. But I've seen loads of comments straight after the fight about him getting caught with 2 right hands. Now, if you go 9 rounds with a fighter who's been boxed at the level as Dukar has, and who's only lost to really high level sort of fringe world class fighters, you're going to get it. So certainly off someone who's so experienced as him, who's really defensively adapts, and he likes to sort of create them little areas in front of him where he makes you feel comfortable, and then all of a sudden he just lets one go. When you've got that combined with someone who's as aggressive as Pat, you're going to get it every now and again. He got hit with 2 decent right hands in 9 rounds. That, in his 6th fight or 7th fight, whatever it was, I think that's good. Like, I would have expected him to get hit cleaner than that. Now, you've also got to take into account, like, when he doesn't feel like there's danger in front of him, he's also more susceptible, because he just goes in and just throws caution to the wind and lets his hands go. So now he doesn't do that when he's sparring, when he's in with guys who are dangerous. You know, he's sparred some very good heavyweights, and his defence is way better than anyone's seen yet. But he's not showing it yet because he don't have to show it. So that fight was two things. Number one, don't sort of sit on he's going to get it easy, because that's not the case. He might switch off for a little minute when in situations where he can afford to a little bit. But number two, no one's seen anything like the whole range of what Pat's got, because he's not had to show it yet. And I thought it was such a good learning fight for him. The whole reason we picked that guy was because we knew he would do that, and we knew he'd frustrate him a little bit, take him into the later rounds, mess him about, have a little bit of success. They're the type of opponents you want for Pat at this stage, because you don't want him going 1 or 2 rounds all the way through to the point where maybe next year he's on the verge of fighting for the world title, and you go, he's got no experience under his belt.
That is exactly my point. I believe that Matchroom are extremely confident in Pat Brown, because they've mentioned, Frank Smith mentioned to me, I could put him in with Joe Pataya within 12 months, and I'm confident that he'd win. But then
Listen, Eddie's a promoter. That's his job, is to promote his fighter, and that's a good way of getting his name up there in the limelight. But me as his trainer and his manager, and Sam Jones as his co-manager, our job is to navigate him through it, to make sure that we match him with the right guys. And the whole team at Matchroom are really good at doing that. They'll throw options and they'll go like, "What do you think of this guy?" And like, so going back to that, Ducab was mentioned. I was like, it's a bit of a bold move, that, I would have really liked that guy in maybe another fight or two, but let's do it, because the sooner he gets that experience under his belt, the sooner he can put the lessons into place moving forward. Like now, the first time since Pat turned pro last year, I've got something to work on with him. Whereas before that, I had nothing to work on because he'd not put a foot wrong.
That is the mindset that builds a fighter. Because I strongly agree with you. I think if you give people too many, not easy runs, because it's still dangerous, it's still boxing, and credit to those guys. But if you keep on giving them the easy runs, they're not going to learn anything. And then, like you said, when he finally steps up and he gets sparked, what happens then?
It's like normal life. If a kid grows up with no adversity or no problems, they grow up soft. They need problems, they need setbacks, they need these types of things to build that mindset. And it's the same in boxing. If you have nothing coming back to you, no adversity, what are you going to learn from it?
Absolute facts. But going on to another fighter, Chantel Cameron, what a punch. I just love watching her box. She boxes like a fella, and you know what I mean? She's a proper boxer. I enjoyed that fight. Her opponent was durable, was tough. Came back as well. But a good win for Chantel Cameron.
Buzzing for her. You know what? It's just been nice. There's so many negatives around boxing, and there's not many sort of stories where it ends. There's an happy ending at the end of it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying she's at the end. And she's still got a good few performances left in her, definitely. But in terms of like the fact that she left the gym or we went our separate ways, and then it just come full circle, come back round. She spoke really highly of me and Nige, which was nice. And you don't really see that. You never really see that once it's done, everyone goes their separate ways. And I think because me and Nige, the way we are with our fighters, we have proper relationships with them. It's not just a boxing thing. Outside of the gym, we
like family, yeah.
Exactly, it's like a big family. And I was still in touch with Chantel all the way through that 2 years, and not every day like maybe we are now, but like every week, every couple of weeks. And probably the reason why she felt comfortable enough to say, listen, I'd love to come back and finish what we started. And so, I think that's down to the relationship what we've got with our fighters, and it's nice.
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad you're back together. That was a brilliant performance for her. The people that you've got in the gym, and like we can talk about Alfie Middlemiss as well. Obviously, the partnership that you've got with Nigel Travis, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But I want to ask your opinion on a fight that's coming up. 25th of July, Anthony Joshua's due to fight.
Yeah.
Is it Christian Prenga? A fighter that I hadn't heard of. We speak about warm-ups, and I really do accept and appreciate that Anthony Joshua's coming back into boxing less than 6 months after that horrific accident that took the lives of his two friends. Arguably, should he have even come back? So this fight, I believe that he should have gone in with Wilder. I'm just prepping you because I want your opinion.
I believe that Anthony Joshua is quite within his rights to get an easier fight. I know Wilder's probably not the guy who he was, but when he's not just the physical aspects of what's happened in terms of the accident, what he was involved in. That in itself deserves a little bit of leeway in going, right, okay, well, let's have a little bit of an easier touch just to see how your body holds up before you come back. When you take into it the mental aspect in terms of him losing his friends, it doesn't even bear. I don't even feel like it's close to the physical aspect. So, yeah, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but my opinion is he deserves a break. He's been through a horrendous experience. He's probably still going through that experience now, and he's grieving. And and I think it should be baby steps, because for all intents and purposes, I do believe that this should be all geared around him and Fury fighting each other. Eventually, it's way past his sell-by date, but everyone would still love to watch it. And I don't want that fight to miss us by. And if getting to that point is him doing this in baby steps to get him over the horrendous thing what's just happened, then I think it's the right move.
But then we talk about, obviously, there's that psychological side, and I can't fault that. But Jamie, how is this guy, and I'm not saying that you can't have a cherry pick going wrong, he's going in with Fury next, and Fury was out for 16 months.
Yeah.
And to be fair, to me, Fury didn't look that bad against Makhmudov.
Yeah.
All right, so it's like, how do you then go from...
I don't think it's anything to do with a tactical thing. I don't think it needs to be anything about the opponent. It's just about AJ. It's literally about seeing how his body holds up and seeing how his mind holds up, getting him back in there. It's like a test run. It doesn't really matter who's in the opposite corner. It's all about him and how he navigates it.
Yeah, see, and that is why you speak to the trainers, because I was one of them that was like, why is he fighting this guy?
Yeah.
You know, he's better than that. He can beat Wilder.
This sport, when you get to that top level,
yeah,
it's 80% of it's mental. It's not anything to do with the actual boxing. And it's how you navigate it. You know, something might happen on fight week which flips your mindset and affects your performance massively. And that's not... So you think you can do an 8 or 10 week training camp, be unbelievably fit, but something upsets you on fight week and then you perform awfully. That has not affected how fit you are, how strong you are, how technically good you are. It's a mental aspect. 80% of boxing at the highest level is a mental thing. It's how you navigate it and how you get through it. He needs to make sure his mental fortitude is right, is okay, because he doesn't want to go straight into a big fight without it being untested. It's really important. I think people don't realise how important the mental side of it is. It's the most important thing once you get to that stage, because these so small percentages make big differences. Like, so going back to the beginning of this conversation, Conor Walker, he might not be as technically gifted as a lot of fighters. Like Pat McCormack, for all intents and purposes, people spoke about him saying he's the most talented fighter I've ever seen. And they would be right. But that's not the only aspect what wins a fight. There's so many other things what you've got to add as ingredients to make the complete package. Conor Walker is, I use this term all the time, he's bulletproof. Not just bulletproof in terms of his defence or how physically strong he is, but you cannot break his mentality. He can have 9, 10 bad rounds and still be getting off the stool going, he's getting it this round. I've never known anybody as mentally resilient as him in my life.
What a way to end it, Jamie. You know I can talk to you for 700 years. I'm coming up to your gym next time. We're going to do a proper sit down. Do you know what I mean? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't already, please follow Jamie Moore, a former fighter that doesn't just understand how to teach his fighters how to fight because he's been there. He understands how to mentally get them ready for fights. Look at the fighters that he's got in his gym and look at what they have done and what they're going to continue to do. Jamie Moore, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.